So I am so excited. This is the first, I don't even know if we're going to call it an episode of VIXIN Real, but how this came about was all of the VIXIN lives that we've been doing, all of the content that we've been doing, there was so much to tell you. You have so many questions because I think we've literally got the most active community that I just suggested to Shah, our chief VIXIN, that we actually just sit down and have a conversation, record it, cut it all up, and that way we can actually give you as much of the information that we can, literally, sort of within the next hour. So my name is Emma, and I am proud to say I'm probably one of the OG VIXINs. Would
Yes,
that be?
you are. Yeah,
2018.
You're as original as the apple is.
I don't know. Well, you are the original VIXIN. Like, let's face it.
Well, yes,
you are the OG.
Yes.
And then I came in, and I came in at a time when it was this vision you had brought to life. Like, most people have a vision, like in their backyard, sort of like putting skincare in like little jars and stuff. But you had brought this vision to life with this custom, this beautiful packaging, this thought out, the most meticulous process that you've been like, this was sort of beyond a startup story. Because I sort of came in and was blown away by it. But when you first wanted to do it, what was the motivation to start it from the beginning?
From the very beginning,
Yeah.
well, my background is media and marketing, and I've worked in radio, TV, mags for 30 odd years. We won't say too much because otherwise it gives your age away. But I'd worked with some very, very large brands. Through that, I kind of lost a bit of respect for the beauty industry. There was a lot of empty promises. There was a lot of marketing hype, yet no delivery on those marketing hype.
This was like mid-90s, wasn't it? Are we talking
Yes,
sort of mid-90s?
mid-90s. Oh,
Yeah, it was
100% mid-90s.
loose.
It was
loose in the 90s.
It was loose.
Skincare, the shit we were putting on our face in the mid-90s was wild. So you were thick in the media of it.
And I was thick and marketing it. So
Yeah.
my name was going against things that we were making promises to customers and things like that for some very big brands, and I won't out those. But so it made me uncomfortable about what I was actually selling to consumers, and I guess the hype and the empty promises that were being made, and the lack of ethics as well, because they were being made in China, they were being sold in China, which means they're not cruelty-free, yet they're stating that they're cruelty-free. And that's important too, to know that if you sell in China, you're not cruelty-free. So there are very big brands out there.
You knew that early, right?
Early,
You knew
like
that when
was-
everyone was sort of like, oh, put a bunny rabbit on your packaging and that'll make it fine. And you're sort of the one looking under the thing to go, if you're on a shelf in China, you are tested.
You are
on
tested.
animals.
Yep.
Yeah.
So China will send out any old bit of poison out of the place. But when it comes to you actually putting your product into China, firstly, they have an ingredients list that they will and will not let you go in to sell to their consumers, which is good on them because it's pretty strict. But the next thing they'll do is they'll actually test on animals, and why they still do that is beyond me, but they do. And there are a lot of people in China trying to stop the testing on animals, but it still happens. So if you sell on a shelf in a shop in China, no matter how big or little that is, your product has to go through animal testing. So you are not cruelty-free. Now, back when the Leaping Bunny and all those companies were first in existence, I don't think that wasn't a thing where they'd look at whether you could claim that you're cruelty-free if you didn't test yourself on animals as a brand. But now they look further into that. So the first thing you've got to do is prove, like, tell them where you sell it.
Yeah, it's really stringent now, isn't it?
It's really stringent.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. So when you do go to those places and the companies that are listing out the cruelty-free, you can actually trust what they're saying because they actually do look where you sold.
Yeah,
that is number one.
It's the bouncing. Which one is it? Because there's a few.
Leaping Bunny.
It's the Leaping Bunny.
Yeah,
is the one. It's kind of like the Australian.
Yeah,
made
and the
logo.
cruelty-free one, which so there's two different kind of bodies, but they both do the same and they both look into where you actually sell it.
Yeah.
So that is important. So we don't sell in China. We are not in shelves in China.
I know, I've seen you. You're adamant about that. So going back to, we're in the throes of it, mid-90s. Everything is all still like, Special K commercials. Everything's all kind of like whatever it is. It's big budgets, big volume, and you're right living, breathing in the heart of that in the media. And you're just watching bullshit roll out after bullshit.
Yeah,
and
working on multi-million, billion-dollar budgets, telling consumers what to put on their face when most of the ingredients you couldn't read and most of the ingredients well, a lot of them are banned now. A lot of ingredients they don't even use.
Yeah.
And people are, and consumers are demanding ethical practices in your manufacturing. So a lot of it, there's changes being made, but there's still, the big brands are still not up with the indie brands like ours. They're still taking a lot longer to pivot and to change. And they really,
their margins are so savage, right? For them to do something like what VIXIN's doing,
it's profit. It's profit over people.
They'd slaughter their bottom end.
Yep.
What you've done, we'll get to that in a minute because that's insane. The fact that you've taken such a leap in that space, that's a whole nother ballgame. But that alone, for them to sort of come up to the ethics of standard of what something like VIXIN, like what you're saying indie brands are doing, they just can't roll out the volume that they are.
Well, they can't. They are public companies. They're not governed by us. They're governed by a board of directors, by shareholders. So if they turn around to those shareholders and say, oh, well, actually, we're going to start to be ethical, which means we're going to start to cut some of these ingredients out, the cheap, nasty stuff out, and actually put proper active ingredients in that actually do something, and the right percentage too, because that's important. So your profits are going to be half what they were.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, ba-bong.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
No, they're not going to do it. So when you see them starting to pivot, they're pivoting. They're very good in marketing. See, this is their thing. So they will tell you that they're changing a little bit of sustainable packaging, or they're trying to deflect away from the ingredient side, because not often you'll see them come forward in the ingredient space, but you'll see them come forward in the packaging space.
Yeah.
Because they can say, oh, well, we just use this recycled cardboard.
And in their charities. That's where I noticed is that greenwashing, they'll do it in their charities. They'll still be putting shit on your skin that'll literally blow your your skin cells off, but they're contributing to something with something.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, to make you feel better about it, so that they can say that they're I guess socially conscious about and environmentally conscious.
Don't care about your skin.
But we don't care about what you put on your skin, and we don't care that yes, your skin is the biggest organ and it absorbs everything. But we'll make it a bit pretty. We'll make a nice female empowerment body movement. Yeah. And we'll still sell you the same crap we've been selling you.
Do the advertising campaign with no makeup. Because then when you did so that you found that out right through the media, you realised that it was full of shit. Talk to me about how the hell you found apple stem cells. Like, I'm sitting there going, it makes sense in theory when you look at an apple, right? But I had no idea it was a thing that literally then you could extract out the stem cells, let alone put in skincare. Just talk to me about that process.
So that... when you put something out to the universe and you go, you know what, I really want to make something that's ethical. I want it formulated with purpose. I want it with integrity, made here in Australia. I want a skincare that works. So I'm putting all that out into the universe and meeting people as I go along. And then I met some formulation superstars. And we started looking at active ingredients and things that worked and products that actually made skin changes, which was how we got onto plant stem cells and the changes that plant stem cells make within the skin. They work with our own human DNA.
So no one was doing it then, was it?
No,
you were the first.
No.
VIXIN was the first.
Yeah, we were doing it before other people were doing it. Now, in Europe, they were already using some plant stem cells, which is where people get confused about the apple stem cell comes in from overseas and then they go, oh, but are you Australian made? Well, you can have multiple origins of ingredients, but 97% of our ingredients is sourced right here in Australia, but that 3% that goes into that apple stem cell product, that is sourced overseas because there is only one factory in the world and it's a Swiss product.
It's a particular apple, isn't it?
Yes.
It's actually
grown
for the stem cells.
It's a Swiss apple from the 1800s. Now, what this apple used to do was it was actually quite a sour tasting apple, but they discovered back then that if it fell off on the ground, so they used it to go to war with, they used it in concentration camps, they used it all like through so many areas because it actually didn't decay. So it could fall off the tree and it actually had a shelf life naturally from its own like cellular form within that made it have such longevity. So they then harnessed these plant stem cells from there. And then that's how we then discovered that it could be used to regenerate human stem cells.
And they're the one, they've protected that, isn't it? The what is it actually? What's it say?
It's Malus domestica.
Yeah.
And
They've patented having that. So
Yes.
that apple, that strand, you're not getting that strand anywhere else.
No, nowhere else. It's theirs. They own it. We work with them. They also make our goji stem cell.
Yes.
So it's the same company because they firstly ethically source it as well. They're sustaining, because it's a very rare Swiss apple. So they have their own farms. They keep it ethically growing, so it didn't go out of it because it was almost borderline extinction. So they're a wonderful partner that we work with, and we've been with them for a long time now. So and we're the only ones that use that here. So yeah.
And that was it. So did you have to try to, like, when you approached them to go, hi, we're this little Australian indie brand, can we have your exclusive, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's not even available. How'd you actually even get them? Did you have to pitch for it?
Yes, we did. Yeah, I did. And I explained with our formulations team why we wanted to use it. They looked at then the extended formula of it as well, of what we were putting together, because I explained to them that I wanted to make the first all-in-one product that was safe around your eyes. It didn't come with warning labels, which obviously we'll talk about a bit later. Yeah. But that didn't come with warning labels, and I wanted, because I always said, why was there no all-in-one product? Like, and that the only reason there was no all-in-one product was because it was better to sell you 50 products.
Yeah, it's not financially viable.
Yeah, so
you're doing yourself
that was the
out
only
of
reason.
business.
So now because we have, and people go, well, why have you got more products? Well, we've got more products because there was a request for that. So we
kept asking for it.
Yeah, we have customers that wanted more products, and we'll go into that a bit later. But at the end of the day, we still that sells 100 to 1 of anything else we produce.
Yeah.
And that shows you that people want a simplified routine.
Yeah.
They want simple.
What I love about that, every customer that started off with the all-in-one fell in love with the all-in-one, then asked you, can we have more products that are like the all-in-one, but still, like, when you travel, like, to be able to take one skincare product with you when you travel overseas, for any woman's toiletry bag, just that's not a done thing. Probably the cleanser and the all-in-one, probably. But we'll get to an all-in-one product, revolutionary.
Yeah.
So you're bringing in an apple stem cell.
Yep.
Then you're doing an all-in-one. So the first. Now, you were absolutely, like, meticulous, and you were dedicated. This had to be done in Australia.
Yep.
It had to be made in Australia.
Yep.
Why?
There are a few reasons. I'll start with I'm a mum. I have a son. I have family. So producing here in Australia creates more opportunities for the people around us that we love. So the more we take offshore, the less we have here in Australia to offer jobs, to add to the economy, and to make us a buoyant country. So making Australia made, that was one of my big points over here, and not one is ahead of the other in the reasons why I chose Australian made. Mm-hmm. So there is contributing to the economy, the future, and families and decades to come of people getting jobs, hiring people. Like, I hire, I'm really adamant about helping some single mums that work for us, things like that, right? So they can work within their school hours, their kids come first. So there's all those reasons why I do that. The other, we know what goes into it. We know how it's formulated. We know how it's made. We register every batch number that's made. So if there was any problem, we can have a look. We can have a look at everything. We can control it. Now, there is some really big swapping out of ingredients in China going on, okay? So you're paying for one thing, they're swapping it out. There is no proof, and we'll get to that Kmart, what goes on, the Kmart disaster. But you can't, unless you're going to stay in the factory in China, you can't really prove what they put in that. I don't care what they tell you. You can't prove, unless you're going to stand there and watch every ingredients go into that and then everything go into the bottle. It's a big trust thing. And how well do you trust that?
Yeah. But also, I didn't know, you were the first to tell me, you were the first to really give me the understanding. You know how most, and Aussies, we're all the same, probably people listening to this is the same. We see the triangle. Well, we've got the gold triangle. We're one of the only ones who've got the gold triangle.
Yes.
Not just the green one. But then that later formed into that we're actually one of the most stringent manufacturing quality assurance. We're actually one of the most difficult standards to meet.
Yes.
So not just only do you get a chance to jobs, and where it all started off with the feel good, speed up to 2025 and it's like, oh my God, we rest easy at nighttime knowing full well because of the level of standard, we have to appear to every single time you want to put a product out to say that's Australian made and put that little triangle on it.
Yep.
You were the first one to actually tell me how brutal it is to get that stamp.
It is, and it is, and so it should be. Like you want to know and trust that your product. So not everybody wants to know all the background of everything, right? They just want to know that it's backed by science. They want to know that it's backed by integrity. They want to know that they're protected and trusted. But know that we take care of all that in the background so that you don't have to worry about it. And that's what that triangle does for us. They come into it. So what happened back in the day is you could get the Australian made logo and then you had it for life. That's not a thing anymore.
Okay,
Every year they come back into the warehouse, they come back into our manufacturing, and they make sure that we are still producing and bottling right here in this country. Because what happened was you'd get your trademark, so you get your mark, and then they bring it in vats.
Oh, you're saying that?
And refill it, right? So
they bring it in pre-mixed out, mix it here, and technically get their I'm Australian made and owned and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that.
And that's not what you're putting on your face.
Every year you get recertified. Every year. So, and I want everyone to know that with the Australian Made campaign. They are wonderful. They are such great partners. Finally, the government's giving them some more support. I think they've given them $20 million for the next 5 years to support it. But it needs more than that. Like government, come on, mate. Like this is important to keep manufacturing in this country. It is important for every...
Well, now we're realising it.
For every
now
reason.
We're realising it. Everyone's just like, oh, they've only heard the T word for the first time. And now everyone's realising going, oh, now everyone's back pocket's actually aware of it. But you've been aware of it, of how much it's actually meant and what... Because I don't think people they just sort of had that idea that the little triangle was a feel-good thing. Not necessarily going, oh, my God, you don't actually understand the tentacles that come off that triangle.
Yep. Tentacles of everything.
Yeah.
And it's everything. It's money, it's integrity, it's trust, it's knowing you're safe, like knowing your skin is safe or whatever it is that you're buying that's Australian made, knowing that that's gone through its paces and that every year they can't just shove it offshore. Every year it's still then recertified here in this country.
It's a bit of a screener too, right? So if you're going to put your neck on the line to even apply for one, because there's a lot of products on the shelf, you know, not downplaying anything of people actually legitimately doing it here in Australia, but to go that next step to get the triangle, you're really putting yourself out there. It's sort of like put Australia made out on your product is one thing, but to get the triangle, that's you're committing yourself to a whole nother, a third party.
A third party.
Yeah.
Yep, you are.
Coming in and scrutinising you.
That's exactly right. And they check who your contract manufacturers are and all those kinds of things. They check. So they've got to be certified too.
Yeah.
So, and the same with like anything to do with Therapeutic Goods Association or if it's organic, they've got to be registered, things like that. So you know that the people we choose as our partners are as ethical as we are. Now, I am absolutely sick to death of seeing Australian made written on a box. It means absolutely nothing to me. I won't buy it. There is why wouldn't you get your certification? There's obviously something to hide. Australian made, go get your certification, support the country, support your brand, let consumers know what they're buying. It is important for our future to make sure that we are protecting what we've got.
Well, let's segue into that then, because this is massive. You'd been banking on it, right? 2018 or whatever. You went and got your triangle and you were kind of like, hi, we're doing it all. Like when we actually say natural, organic, when we actually were sort of there in the background as a little indie brand doing what you were doing. And then we get people on board, this huge sort of VIXIN following starts to happen underground. And then, it starts to work and it starts to have this incredible community grow. But then simultaneously at the same time of people discovering this little kind of like VIXIN's our best kept secret, which is no longer a secret anymore, that at the same time what blew up this year, because this sort of segues off to this, right, that at the same time, let's talk about the scandals of what happened, because it is... I don't want it brushed under the table about the fact that it hit where people were using it. So to bring people up to speed, if you haven't already been watching our social media and that kind of stuff, Kmart, there were women who were admitted into hospital for using a $6 Kmart skincare product.
Yeah, it was a cleansing balm.
A cleansing balm with hyaluronic acid?
Yeah, 2%. It said 2% hyaluronic acid cleansing balm. Now, one was a woman, the other was a 13-year-old.
That's right. Okay, so
tween.
now we're talking kids skincare. That's a whole nother ball game as well.
Whole
but go
nother
for
ball
it.
game.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, our skincare, VIXIN skincare, you can happily do with your daughter, with your tween, to teach them self-love and self-care and all those sorts of things. We're not anti-aging. We are pro-aging. But we're also pro taking care of yourself as well and being the best version of yourself and whatever that looks like. But our skincare is safe to use.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, you can't make a skincare like you can't make a skincare for $6. I don't know how
why anyone thought that's possible.
It's impossible. Even Nivea's, and now Beiersdorf is a big company, right? So they produce in bulk, but their Nivea, the basic Nivea, which feels, sort of jelly-like, that's only $11.
Yeah.
On the shelf.
Yeah.
Ready to be sold.
Because I saw that the TikTok that you did, you reverse sort of engineered it to go, let's just put the packaging in, let's put the shipping, like to land in country, to then have the retail margin on top with a big box brand like a Kmart to then add in on top. You must be making the product for like what was it,
50 cents, 20 cents. I said 50 to be generous, but literally to get your margins, because you got shipping, you got everything else. That is a Chinese produced product. Kmart has their own factories in China, which is very well known. So they had to be making it for 20 cents. Now, let me tell you, I don't know what they're putting in it for 20 cents, but I would be not putting it on my skin, let alone letting my child.
Well, it's targeted, right? Those Kmart skincare, they're targeted for tweens.
In that article that the lady that we shared from the mum, whose 13-year-old used it and burnt her face off, she actually said that there was a whole section, a kiddies makeup skincare section, that Kmart actually did a display attracting to tweens. Yeah. Which brings us to a whole nother level of what's ethical and what's not. Now,
because then there was the kids thing that then blew up where, what is it done in Europe? Is it California or
California
Europe or
law. So they call them Sephora kids, and it is this wave of just young girls on TikTok using retinol being the main thing on their skin and doing irreparable damage. Now, retinol's not something and that's a whole other subject again. Yep. We could talk about that for a 3-hour podcast, let me tell you. But retinol's not something we'll use in our products because it is a carcinogen, and it will be, mark my words, it will be a product in a few years, and probably less than a few years now because the European Union is already stamping all over it, that will come back and everyone go, oh, whoopsie, shouldn't have used that.
It's kind of got to be the new paraben, the parabens or the
lead, mercury
they used to put in skincare.
Holy dooly. Now,
I can see us looking back going, they put retinol in skincare.
Yeah, they shouldn't have used that. Yeah. And it ruins the epidermal layers of your skin. It makes you sensitive to the sun for a reason. Why does it make you sensitive? Because it's taking layers off your skin. It's taking the protective barriers off and gives you eventually crepe-thin skin that looks like it's going to tear like tissue paper and gives you no protection from anything.
So they're starting to ban the dose, the amount that you use.
So what they've done in the European Union is they've now put a level of what you can put in skincare, and it has to be off the shelves by the end of the year, of nothing over 0.03%.
Oh.
Right, that's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's nothing, which tells you that probably shouldn't be using
Shouldn't use it at all. What's the point?
Yeah, well, what's the point? Exactly. So that's the first thing. And then what the Californian bill that was passed earlier this year was, then they haven't banned the use of retinol yet, but they've banned the use of those kind of harsh ingredients. They're banning the sale of it to anyone under 18.
That's right. They are too. Yeah, that's right. They're putting an age limit on it.
They're putting an age limit on it.
Wild.
Now, that's the first step towards what will be a ban similar to the European Union. Now, they're doing it in baby steps, but they've had to stop the onslaught of Sephora kids and the irreparable damage that's happening.
Yeah.
Because remember, every part of your body is still growing, like every part. Now, if we talk about our bones and our brains are still growing and our hair and everything else, well, so is our skin, which is our biggest layer.
Yeah, of course.
So it has to be regulated.
Yeah.
It has to be regulated.
And so I guess the closest thing of regulation,
Sorry, guys.
you know, the closest thing then to regulation, I guess, is of what we can kind of do is the Australian-made triangle is sort of the closest we can get to quality assurance that if a company's going to step forward and say, like say what VIXIN is saying, it's natural, the ingredients are organic, then the approved stem cells that are then being used, and anything that we're going to put to follows this grid line of ethics, then the way to which that it's being manufactured, we're not putting it in vats overseas and just bringing it over, whacking a stamp on it. And so at really Australia, that's all we've got really to rely on.
Yeah, that's it.
And obviously if you've got to have things approved.
Retinol is not restricted, the use of it in this country.
Yeah.
Like, hence why there's so many brands just flooding the market with retinols, because it's a lazy ingredient.
Yeah.
It is a lazy ingredient, because what it does is it gives the illusion of a really quick fix, but really it's just doing long-term damage.
Yeah.
So the brands can go, oh, well, look, this is before and after, but the irreparable damage that it's doing to the layers of your skin is not a quick fix.
It's not a quick fix. So talk to me about, because that's then now a perfect segue then again, right? When I first came on board with VIXIN and you said to me, skin smart technology, right, at first, and I was like, come on, mate, that's marketing drivel, right? And you were like, hey, no, it's actually...
No, it's not.
And then you actually started to actually talk me through it, and I just think VIXINs need to get this, because I don't know how many people actually go to the skin technology page on the website and actually digest. Some people do. Kudos to you if you're one of those people that go out because you do want to look underneath the bonnet of the car. But it's legit.
Yes, it is. Yep.
When you're using stem cells on your face, and then just talk me through it, because it still blows my mind.
I'll actually read, because one of my formulation queens, Cheryl, will kill me if I don't get this exactly right. So I'll actually.
We'll also link it below as well.
But Skin Smart technology is a delivery system into the skin. So it's molecule size that attaches to the actives and basically drags it into repair. Okay, so that's what Skin Smart technology is, and that's why you jump on our reviews or on the community and everyone's like, oh my God, it worked. Oh my God. And people go, oh, these fake reviews. No, they literally are on there going, holy shit, it worked. And it keeps working and it keeps adjusting.
That's the thing, why? So tell me why. That's the bit I can't get my head around, why. It understands what your skin needs.
It understands what your skin needs. So the molecules are dragging in the different active ingredients, because there's 9 in there, and it is, hang on, my nose is running.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I just,
there's one there.
Right? Sorry, Del. I might need to just go back to that. Sorry, lovely.
That's all right, because I'll pick up off...
Start again on that.
No, I'll pick up, because that was awesome. I'll pick up off... Talk to me about how it keeps working.
Yeah.
Because that's actually... Because people do.
Yeah.
They do actually ask that a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Can you see it?
All right.
Because that is one of the... That keeps blowing people away, right? That they turn around and go, oh my God, it works, like revolutionary. But the fact that there's this... that it keeps working, just explain... I still can't get my head around the fact that it continues to work. It knows what to work and what to use. How?
It's intuitive. So what that does is it takes the different active ingredients. Now, because we use a lot of plant-based ingredients, and plants regenerate themselves, so we all know that. And that is smart enough to regenerate your skin and to heal and to regrow a limb, say, if it's a plant, or you can grow from a cutting. Now, it's the same technology that we harness in the stem cells and in the plant technology that we then use, coupled with the delivery system, into the skin. So it intuitively knows what it needs to repair. So it's dragging in. So it knows if your skin is drier, and it might deliver more hyaluronic acid in, or it might deliver more vitamin C in. It may give you more oils. It may give you more retinol. It may, and it's forever working, which is why one day, we've got customers on there that says, oh, I had my skin dried up all of a sudden and I had topical dermatitis, and then I put VIXIN on and the next day it was gone. So it knew that it needed to deliver some shea butter in there and some really heavy hitters of the apple stem cell to heal the flaky skin
That blows my
and the
mind.
rosacea.
That blows my mind still
It
to
is-
this day.
It is. It is an amazing product.
See, people don't get that when people go, and this is the thing that I love about it. When I love when people use it, and it's just like, and the first thing is, oh my God, it works, and you're like, yeah, and then here you are years out later going, I don't think you understand how much work has gone into, and Cheryl and all of the whole team that's gone to going to make something work. You don't understand how much cost, the premium level of ingredients that's got to be used. And this is the other thing with VIXIN, the right amount of active ingredient that isn't just, again, lip service. So you can put, active enzymes, bullshit on
You've
the
got to
front
have
of
the
the
right
packaging.
amount.
It's
And
got
that
to be
comes
the
from
right, and it's a
testing.
lot.
That comes from testing though. You have to understand what different ingredient and what percentage actually works. And also what is too much. Like that 2% hyaluronic acid and whatever other chemicals in there obviously it burnt that poor little girl's face off.
Yeah.
Because the ingredients, there was probably too much, and there was probably chemicals in there as well, that it just didn't work with the skin either. And you can't do that again for $6. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But having the right percentages is absolute king in making any skincare.
Because VIXIN's got the most, or some of the most high, like the most active
Yeah, so we've got all
of what you can have.
Yeah, of what we can have in there. So that's why it works. Now, that's why the bigger companies, they don't have the same levels of actives in there. Because again, it's margins, you know, and they're governed by a board of directors and shareholders, and we're not. We're independent. So we will make sure, and that's the other thing. I want you to keep coming back.
Yeah, because if VIXIN was made, didn't we do something? There was a couple. If VIXIN was made by one of those companies, it would be something like $220. Like the level of expense that they would mark that up. If
easy,
it was made by
easy.
one of those big companies, an all-in-one would be $220, not
Without
$59.
Not $59.90.
Because of the sacrifices that you've done to make sure that it can be delivered to people who can actually afford to use it.
Yeah.
But then not sacrifice the ingredients. And Indie Brand's the only one that would have been able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And look, the problem with a lot of the indie brands is they sell out to the big mobs, and you know what the big mobs do?
Yeah.
They
Absolutely
shut
butcher it.
them down.
Yeah.
And they make the brand disappear.
Yeah, because you've had offers, right?
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I don't know if VIXINs know that. She's had offers.
Yep. And we just won't sell out.
Yeah, because one of the first questions you ask going, at what degree will you butcher the shit out of everything that I've just done for 10 years?
Well, they won't even... I don't even know if they'd continue. I reckon they just come in and shut it down like all the other indie brands. Like there's so many times you hear people talking about they found, you know, a little Australian independent brand, and next thing you know they were gone. And that's because they sold out, and then they just shut them down.
Yeah.
They didn't even bother to continue with it. And you see that every day by all the big, you know, because the market is controlled by two massive big players, all right, all three. Procter & Gamble, Unilever and Beiersdorf. So they own it.
Yeah.
They own it. Now you've got all these celebrity makeup brands coming out and whatever else, but they own the market.
They own. Down the bottom, follow the money, and then it's always there. Yeah. And is that why then you just hedged your bets on almost like we laugh about white knuckling it, bootstrapping it. Bootstrapping it. And the level to which
that shows you how good my skincare is, because I should look far worse than I do, because let me tell you,
100 years old.
There were days that I had 6 cents left in the bank. And
it's the most phenomenal story. That's a whole nother episode.
It's a whole nother
within
episode,
itself.
but yeah.
But that was the sacrifice that was made.
Yep.
Because you could have easily just turned around and gone, I'm done. I'm exhausted. But we're going to...
And everybody said to me, don't tackle this industry. You can't break into it. You can't.
They did.
They did. Everybody said, don't do it. You're wasting your money. You're doing this. You're doing that. Now, it was expensive to get that first product tested, made, especially being an all-in-one, getting the right ingredients. But, geez, what a labour of love. And what an amazing product.
Go there.
And the minute we got it done and it worked, holy moly, I knew I had it. I knew I had the winner. I literally cried when we got it right.
Huh?
Because it It works.
It works.
It freaking
and
works.
I mean, I know that people, if they're watching this little red apple means the world to them. And we know that it means the world to you. But you're sort of like, you're looking at this sort of thing to be able to go, that doesn't look like anything else on the market. And you're like, yeah, because it's not.
Because it's not.
Like the level of, first time, that we see this sort of like, first of all, we've got to get our head around of the apple plant stem cells. Then we've got to realise of the smart technology, the skin technology that it's using. And then of the fact that like when you sort of see something that goes, it can be used on all skin types, all ages, all tones, because that's the other thing, all ethnicities. Because that was a rare thing about the fact that there was people with different skin types due to their ethnicity where they were just like, you don't understand, there's no skincare we can use.
Yep.
And then they started using VIXIN. They were like, hey.
So I don't know if you know, but darkest toned skin suffer unbelievably with versicolor. Now, versicolor is where you see, it's almost Michael Jackson where he turned white, basically, is versicolor, where it takes the pigmentation out of your skin and can affect the colour of your skin.
Yeah.
Now, through the Pacific Islands, and I've got lots of Pacific Island friends and things who did a lot of testing on this with me. And what this did for people of colour and also topical dermatitis on dark skin is a thing.
Yeah.
What this did for them is next level. Eczema, dermatitis. The feedback we got was like extraordinary.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, because then it was sort of like one of those things that people just put, as I said, a token. I could be used on all skin tones, but you actually had people of colour coming back to you going, no, it can't. There are skin.
Sorry, guys.
There's skincare that actually we can't. And that was when we didn't sort of see this coming, that when we started getting feedback, when people actually just started messaging us to go, oh my God, we found one that actually does.
Yep.
That's huge.
Because look, when you make a brand, you do all your clinical testing, but the real testing comes as more and more people use it.
Yeah.
And you can start to get more and more feedback and areas that you go, God, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
And then they let
I love that. That's so organic, right?
It naturally just became this amazing healer.
Yeah.
This amazing healer.
Yeah, that you sort of did it to sort of be the anti-bullshit cream to start with, and then it's taken on this life force of its own. So I know that anybody listening to this already have a love affair with the little apple, and they already know that either their daughters are nicking it or their sons are nicking it, their husband's definitely nicking it.
Yeah, the husband's definitely nicking it.
Because that was one of the things you were sort of put out to go, are you going to do a men's one? And you were like,
no.
Why?
It's unisex.
But I love the idea. This is a whole nother thing of VIXIN principles and ethics, right? Going, all I'm going to do is put it in black packaging, use the exact thing, just use hers or buy your own.
Yeah, or buy your own. It's quite androgynous. It doesn't, it's not male, it's not female. It's just a great package.
I love it. And then what you wanted then to double down, right? Because then I love this. So the eye repair, this is it like on steroids, not steroids like as in, but on gear. Like this is concentrate, apple stem cell.
Yeah.
And it's massive.
Yes, it's the biggest eye cream on market. Yeah.
For what it's like, this is when I picked it up, I was like, okay, so this will be $180, I'm sure.
It's the same price. Yeah.
And will last you
about 6 months.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. So it's the concentrated. So talk us through that. You've just concentrated the stem cell.
Yeah. Plus it's got other active ingredients in it. Plus it's got another 8 active ingredients in it, or 7 active ingredients. Sorry, it's 8 in total in this product.
Yeah.
But after we made all in one, and that comes to, and I'll just quickly segue to this because we'll talk about this later, is when you layer products, quite often you'll ruin a product. Not all active ingredients are made to go together, okay?
Yep.
So once we had the all-in-one done, it triggered the rest of the product ranges we were going to create because we needed them all to work together. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. I need more water. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, doll.
Would you like more water?
Yeah, right. Why not? Chuck it in there.
Yeah, I'm losing my voice.
Talking straight. Is the aircon?
Probably, but I can't not have it.
I know, we need it.
I know, I need it.
You're nailing it, mate. See how easy it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Once you get in conversation, you're absolutely nailing
I
it.
want to grab some of these myself when we're talking. Oh, don't let me lose those.
What's that?
My earpods.
Oh my God, your life falls
been
apart
looking for
without your
those later.
earpods.
I think we need to.
I've got the boxes of those.
Have you?
Yep.
What else we got?
No, it's perfect because now we're on the products. Now we can start chopping this up for content of the products.
I'll chuck them there in case you need any of them as well.
Yeah, I've got. I'll get those out. Amazing. No, you're absolutely nailing it. Yep, it is sounding spot. We're covering everything, inadvertently covering everything. We wait till I chop this up. It's going to feel like hours worth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. We're hitting everything. We're hitting all the topics that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Like but the content's coming naturally.
Yeah.
Take your swig, mate,
Just get my hair back.
because we are perfectly on time. We've still got 20 minutes. We'll get through. Yeah, we are.
Speaking very well for your first episode.
Am I?
Once she gets on a roll about the things she's passionate about,
Yeah.
she gets onto a roll with it. You just got to be passionate about it, which you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your mic back?
Yes. What's I'm looking for?
Swing your mic back. We're about to go back into layering.
Layering. Right.
Yeah.
Not
Bring
all-
your microphone back in front of you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
So I'm going to
So?
pick up. Yeah, I'll just pick up. So we had the all-in-one first, and then obviously the thing that's going to come close to then it would be to do then an eye cream. So then you did, and we just spoke about the fact that it's the biggest eye cream on the market. That still blows my mind because blows my mind for the price that it actually is. But then it was all about then making the right formula to layer properly,
Yes.
so they didn't cancel each other out. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So you see like influencers doing 10-step programs and they're layer upon layer upon layer. Firstly, they don't even give a breath between the products.
True.
Which, again, don't allow any absorption and don't allow any delivery into the system.
Is what
into
you're
your
about
skin.
5 minutes in between, you say, with VIXIN,
At
yeah?
least 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in a hurry, 5. If you've got time, even give it more. And then the other thing is not all active ingredients can go on top of each other. Some cancel each other out. So if you've got a skincare product and you're going, oh, that doesn't work. I mean, maybe you're layering it with the wrong thing as well. So, I mean, that's
cross-branding will do it too, won't it?
Yep.
If you mix your product brands.
Yeah. And even within brands, and I won't call some out, but some other quite prominent brands, theirs don't work. They're not made to go together either.
Yeah.
So I see in some ads, and I look at them talking about this serum or this or this or this, and I'm like, you can't put those together. But anywho, whatever, they'll put it in a big ad, and the two will cancel each other out because of the active ingredients in it. Now,
dropped
I don't want to get sued,
hundreds
so
of
I'm not going
dollars.
to out people, but yeah, you've got layering products. You want to layer it with other products that complement the other
That
products
are made
to go together.
Made
So
to go together.
everything of ours is made
to go
to
together.
go together.
Yeah.
So that they all work together, and again, all with the same Skin Smart technology, so that the molecular delivery system into the skin is working.
Because then that means, right, because this is where the topic came up, right? Everyone was like, well, if you've got an all-in-one, why do you need anything else? And I think a big thing was what you blew out of the water was, because I know you're using other products. I still know that you're not just using one. There are some people who are literally, that's their all almighty goddess.
Yep.
And that is all that they're doing. But when they are using other serums, other cleansers and everything, that you knew going, you're not going to get the magic out of that unless you're layering with the other products. So then that's what inspired the rest of the range.
Yep. And look, some are like, let's be real. Damage happens over time.
Yeah.
So some of the damage, you need some stronger action. Okay.
Yeah.
So the all-in-one is like if you were traveling, you take the all-in-one and the cleanser and off you go. You don't need to take everything else with you.
Yep.
But if you're at home and you've got some damage around your eyes, some bags, black circles is the biggest thing, and you want a more intense treatment, then you're going to use that.
Yeah.
And that is a game changer. That sells as many as the red apple.
Oh, that with the silicone mask, like, talk to me about it. But then this little baby came along. Holy moly. We can't keep this
On the shelf.
On the shelf. see in my head, like even still, like Goji
Yes.
Glow, like the Goji stem cells, holy hell.
Yep.
Not only like, what can we just talk about with packaging? Jesus, your whole nother level of dedication to packaging is on a whole nother level.
I love it.
But then you were then inspired then to do the serums because everybody was using serums? And you were like, stop using those serums. They're screwing up your, was that
they don't
what
work
inspired
together.
it?
Yes, absolutely. And some people are serum people.
Yeah,
So
they are.
they asked us
Yeah,
to
they are.
create serums. So we created serums that work with, again, plant stem cells. These are Goji stem cells that work together with our skincare. So you are getting benefit from layering,
Yep.
not killing off other active ingredients.
And burning your money.
Yeah.
So ideally, your number one, your OGs is the serum first.
Yep.
We'll go with a cleanser. Obviously, if you're cleansing, we'll get to that guy. The serum then first, ideally. Then you do eye cream. Let that set.
Yep.
And then that's your seal, your deal.
Yes.
The three.
Yep.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And then
Now,
obviously,
the other thing too to know is serums don't work standalone.
oh yeah, you're big on this.
Serums don't work standalone. You get that marketing sell massively from the big companies.
Yeah.
They don't work on their own. They actually don't work on their own. They work like fantastically when you lock it in.
They need a sealer.
They need a sealer.
Yeah.
They evaporate.
Yeah.
And you don't want all that beautiful active ingredients evaporating. So you want to lock it in with the goodness of this.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of customers who just buy these two and they have it on repeat on subscription.
Yeah, the serum
it's
and
massive.
Yeah.
This is their subscription because they go, right, well, I do want the all-in-one,
Yep.
but I do want a serum as well. And we lock it in together with these two. So that's on repeat to a level that...
But then you added this baby. Holy shit,
Yeah.
the cleanser. You changed the game with the cleanser because also too they were washing their face with foam and shitty cleansers and exfoliating the hell out of their skin. So that then when they were using that, it wasn't actually on clean skin.
No.
So then that motivated you to then do
Yeah.
your botanical
Yeah.
gel cleanser.
Yeah.
And I am telling you, I will never use a foam cleanser ever again.
Never. Or a cream
This
cleanser.
is off its face. Or a cream cleanser.
Or a cream cleanser. And that's the refill that we do with that one too, which is handy to travel with as well.
Yeah.
But this product is a game changer for clean skin. Now, you want to have clean skin, guys. It seriously absorbs 10 times better
Yeah.
into the skin if you make way for it. So open your pores up, get it out, close them back up. It is a very specialist formula that is a cleanse and tone all in one process, which we've got customers just going gaga for it because you don't have to buy a separate toner.
Yeah.
This does it all for you in one step. Then once your pores are beautiful and clean, knock yourself out and put your
And then actually
skincare
go
on.
for it. Because that's, I don't know how many of us, right, Gen X, we don't want to necessarily be boasting our age, but, mate, let's face it, most of us were washing our face with a dirty washer and hot water.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah,
We got fancy when we started to use a cream cleanser, and now you get to our age and you're like, okay, we've got to up the ante on this. We've got to get serious about it.
A lot of cream cleansers clog your skin worse.
Clog it up.
They actually clog your skin worse. And if you aren't like meticulous at getting it out, it's worse.
Yeah.
It's worse.
And then the other thing that you were actually pointing it out, there's been a lot of lessons that you've taught me is makeup remover, ladies and gents, if that's not cleansing your skin. Makeup remover does not cleanse your skin. At most stages, just ripping
takes
stuff
makeup
off the top of it. It takes makeup off.
And 9 times out of 10, it's full of alcohol and
Just
chemicals.
strips your skin anyway. So if you're doing that, then first cleanse for the makeup off, second cleanse to clean your skin.
Yeah, double cleanse.
Double cleanse,
yeah.
especially then at night time.
Yeah, double cleanse at night is absolute king.
And then, oh, come on, mate, talk to me about our Shake to Activate. I'm obsessed. I've bought mine. She's half empty. I am obsessed with this product. I'm obsessed with it. At first, I sort of thought, that's
I'll get out
novel, the Shake to Activate. But this is when Korean glass skin stuff started going off, right? And you were like, what's going on here? Again, you did your little investigative thing that you do so well.
Yeah.
And you thought, is this shits and giggles or is this actually real?
Yeah.
And I started, I thought I had the love affair with Goji Glow, but come on.
Yeah.
This thing here, you went over, was this overseas when, I can't remember when you came back and you and the formulator had gone over and you were like, hang on a second, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
This is next level.
That's the actual full one that Emma hasn't used yet. But
I can't
she'll
believe
take this home because she's probably running.
how
running
long
late.
it lasts.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely lasts so long. Now, let's just be real about what glass skin is. Do you know what
Yeah,
glass
true. I
skin
know.
is?
It's
just small pores.
Yeah.
Like, they wanna
Don't
put-
take it away from me.
Well, now they're calling it mirror. They've gone to mirror. They've moved on because they've got the attention span of a frigging
Of a
ant.
gnat. Yeah.
So we've gone on to now glass skin, mirror skin.
Yeah.
So it was glass, now it's mirror.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And did you see? Can we just talk about crazy Korean trends?
Yeah.
Did you see the new plastic thing that they're painting on so they look like a doll?
Yes, I've seen that.
What
I've
is
seen
going on
that.
there?
I don't
Can we
know.
just talk, like, what is actually
don't
happening?
know.
That
I
is
don't
nothing
know.
I am going to be doing, just saying, people. We are not going to be walking around with our faces painted with plastic so that we look like a doll, and then they're doing their lips like the old doll. Remember the little...
Yes, I know. It's
Did
wild.
you see it?
It's wild. I have seen
I don't
it.
understand it. I don't understand. But we did... But what glass skin, mirror skin, whatever is closing of the pores.
Right.
So that's what this does.
Okay, right.
This is restorative. This is intense hydration.
Yeah.
So
you use your glow ideally.
Yep.
Sometimes you can layer them.
absolutely,
That's the big thing.
you can layer them. They
Glow
are,
goji first, that second, because
Yep.
goji's thinner.
yeah, yes, absolutely, and that is exactly it. Just with, even if you're not using VIXIN, any layering is lightest to heaviest.
Lightest to heaviest.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
But then at night time, that's also too your big to go through.
So
too.
yeah, so when I don't have time to do everything, I will put that one on in the morning and that,
one
when
at
I
night,
sleep.
same. Yeah.
Yep.
And then because we know how you feel about retinol and probably how we're going to feel probably by the time we get to 2025, 2028 or something like that, and people
Yeah.
will turn around and go, oh my God, do you remember when they used to use retinol in skincare products? You brought out this little box of bliss.
Of bliss.
Oh my God.
It will-
I'm obsessed.
It's oh yes, and it has
This is the skin
and
snack.
it has a refill.
And it has a refill. Like, stop it. I'm never using a clay or charcoal mask ever again, mate.
No,
I'm an
don't
80s
use-
kid.
My
Of
God,
course I use
charcoal
clay.
masks, clay masks. Do not put them on your skin.
I'm an 80s kid. Of course we use charcoal, mate. We practically use mud on our face. That's what we used to do. Then you bring out this little gem. Now, this has got synthetic retinol.
Yes, so it's a plant-based retinol
Alternative. Bloody love it.
So what it does is it gives you, so one of the benefits of using a retinol is that illusion that it's smoothed your skin immediately. And what that artificial smoothing is it taking layers off your skin. But you don't want to do that. So you don't want all the irritations and all the breaking down the outer layers of your skin, okay? So we don't do that. But it will give you that smoothness immediately.
Immediately.
So it is a retinol alternative that is safe. So you could use this with your daughter and be safe and
be safe.
fine.
Yeah.
And it's safe to put around, like, near your eyes. We don't come with warning labels. So this will be our biggest seller before the year is out. It's already tracking to be so.
Yeah.
You get about 10 applications.
That's wild. How much you get out of it.
Yeah, you
For
get
its
about 10
price, how
applications.
much you get out
So
of
it works
it.
out about $5 an application. So don't go and waste your money on sheet masks, which are all chemical and water, which do nothing to your skin except pay $20 per sheet mask to throw in the bin.
And no, you said that. And also too sustainable, let's face it. You're putting all that packaging and all those sheet masks into the bin.
Yeah, and you're putting it into the environment. So this has got, so you've got a refill available with that.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, when I was on a long haul flight, and these are actually the right size to take on board an international
board,
flight.
yes.
So you can take it with you. So here I am sitting on my long haul, painting my face with pink jelly mask, and the lady next to me says, "What are you doing?" So
That smells nice.
Next thing you know, I'm painting everybody's face around me while we all roll into Europe looking
Glossed up.
spectacular. So we got off the plane. We may have been jet lagged, but we certainly didn't look jet lagged. So we then went into our because obviously I could take this on board because it's the right size, our rapid eye repair travel pack.
Yeah, love it.
And also our all-in-one. So I had all this with me, and of course Goji is the right size to take on board. It's 30 mils. So I had all that, and we were then doing full skincare routines.
They live in my gym bag.
On Qatar Airlines, and even the flight attendants were coming over. So it was fantastic. So it was actually quite a bit of fun. But
I was so stoked when you did those refillable packs.
it was the
Not
best.
just to refill, but to transport.
Oh, to transport, to travel.
Yeah.
Like you can go and take it all with you because seriously, if you're away for a few weeks, pack a couple of those. You're not going to run out.
Yeah.
And even if you didn't want to take anything else and you just took
That's
that.
in my gym bag.
that
It's permanently in my
and-
gym bag.
That?
And those two.
Oh, making sure that's in your gym bag. 'Cause
Yeah.
after you exercise, the bacteria on your skin, get that off immediately.
Yep.
So have that in your gym bag.
Yeah. And then you did this little bit, you threw in then a little beach face, your tanning drops, because you were talking about, which I love, I adore, especially now that we're coming into winter. I love this. But one of the things that you were obsessed about when you launched that was tanning products that are actually skincare. So
Yes.
talk to me about that, the fact that it's not just tanning, that people just have tanning
It's skincare
creams.
first.
It's skincare first. Talk to me about
Skincare
that.
first with tanning and adjustable tanning. So you'll be able
Yeah.
to read about how much to use depending on your skin type and tone. A little goes a long way with this. We have
Yes.
had customers go, oh my
Coming out
God,
looking
I
like an orange.
kind of use too much. But let me tell you, you can use it twice a week. You can use it standalone, but to be honest, it actually sits better in your skin when you couple it with Goji.
Oh, does it? That's the
Yeah.
one that you, because I was using it with all in one.
Or all in one. Yeah, you can use it with all in one.
So you add it to your skincare because it's skincare as well. It's skincare first that has
Yeah, so it's
tanning
got vitamin
principles.
C and hyaluronic acid and all the good things in it. But it will give you just that beautiful little glow. I've got it under, like I'm actually not wearing any foundation.
Yeah.
I actually don't even own foundation. I actually looked for it for this podcast because I was like, I'm going to be on camera. Do I need to look different? I don't know. But anyway, I actually went looking for foundation because I thought, do I need to put some makeup on? No, I didn't get my makeup professionally done, guys. This was literally on the fly.
Wait 1 second, sorry.
Yeah. Someone's banging out. Ha ha. Someone not realising that they're podcast studio. And then do you want to touch on what's coming? Or
Yes.
you just want to touch out what's coming? Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we can.
I love it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Love it. You are
How have
fucking
we gone? Have we done
nailing
all right?
it. You are nailing it, mate. It's like you're a pro. You haven't even noticed that you're being in a fucking podcast. Yeah, we've got another
Yeah, but
10
it's because
minutes.
it's you.
Yeah, but that's why I told you, trust me. I'll make it sound
know.
like a conversation that
know.
we're just banging on about the skincare that we love.
Yeah.
And for people listening to it, it's going to be so easy on the ear.
Yeah.
Because it's not salesy. I thought that's why if we do it like this is the one thing that's going to get cut through that's not salesy. It's going to be like, oh, fuck, what's the whole episode?
Yeah.
Like people will just cut shorts into it and it'll be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then I'm going to go into just on what you just said then when you were segueing about if you go to our reviews, one of the biggest things is that people say, I don't have to wear makeup anymore. So
No.
I'm going to touch in on that.
Which I'll do that, which I was about to.
Sorry.
No,
You're
that's
right.
all right, Tom.
Plumber dude at the back, he's like walked down and starts banging it. I was like, mate.
Mate, we're in a
need to-
recording studio.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
Stop banging. No, I'm joking.
Because it's interesting that you say that about looking for foundation because that's overwhelming on the reviews and in the
Yes.
video testimonials that people were just like, I don't have to wear skin. I don't have.
It's gonna be on the other side, I reckon.
Oh, he's not in our building?
No. Because there's a plumber at the back. Because there's like a leak, and I told him to stop. And he goes, oh yeah, and I think there's a bit of landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the landscaping dude on the side.
Okay, right.
Fuck.
We'll keep trying.
Just try it.
Okay, right.
Sorry.
Go back again. Because that's what's overwhelming, though, about when you look at all of the reviews, like let them speak for themselves. How many women, especially when they got to our age, just going, oh my God, how relieved I don't have to wear makeup anymore.
Yep.
Like, I don't know whether that was a midlife thing of actually being relieved, but then secondly, just knowing that your skin is actually okay, that all it needed was mineral powder.
Yep. And just take the mask off.
Yeah.
Like literally take the mask off. We don't need to. We can just be fresh faced in our own face
Yeah.
and celebrate.
Which is why you wanted to do it, right?
Yeah, everything we've got and create this beautiful community of women supporting women. We can do anything when we do that. So the no makeup, especially with the little beach
little
face.
glower.
Mate, it is just, and that's what's under my, so I've just got just a translucent powder on.
Yeah.
I don't have any foundation. I don't even have a concealer. I have nothing because I don't even own it.
Yeah.
But I have beach face on, and obviously my skincare, and then I've just put a translucent powder to try and take the shine off because obviously, we're menopausal and hot, so we get a bit glossy. So that's the only reason I'm even using powder.
Powder it up. Yeah.
Let's be real. And it just is my, every time, like people always say to me, "Oh, what are you using? Why does your skin look so glowy?" Let me tell you, that beach face, I just love it.
Same. I'm obsessed with it.
I just love it, and I use it twice a week. Like usually, I'd go Wednesday and Monday.
Yeah.
And it's enough to just keep the color.
Yeah.
Just nice and just fresh. So just look glowy.
Yeah.
And it's great, and it doesn't do any damage. There's no chemicals in it.
Because that's also to the thing, and then you go blotchy. Do you know what I mean? When you're using other face tanners, when you then go blotchy, and then you've got like those little pink, like the kind of like, do you remember like the what are remember the buns, the bread buns that are in Coles and Woolies, and they got the tiger stripes on them, where your body.
I think they are they called tiger buns?
Tiger buns. Your face ends up looking like that, but you don't actually get that.
No, you don't get
off
that.
those.
No.
So that then means like, because there's been a lot of talk about, mate, we get hammered, right? What's coming? Are you guys going to do? There's been talk. I don't know. Do I mail out like an SPF-y type situation?
Yep.
So what's coming? Tell me about what's coming.
So we do have in the beach face range, we've got the SPF coming, and that is just in the final stages of approvals with the Therapeutic Goods Association. Again, certified Australian made. Again, skincare first, then SPF 50. So that's exciting. That will be here before next summer, but we're hoping it'll be launching maybe July. But it's got to have its approvals. It is SPF.
Yeah.
Now, we've also got our colour in skincare coming, which is going to be our BB and CC creams, which will just be very light coverage. And so for those who do want that little bit of colour like me today, I would have, I could have used one of our ones. Actually, I didn't even think of that. I probably should have wanted to grab one of the samples while I'm running around all crazy in the morning. But we'll have about 8 different colours going from very fair through to very dark.
So a tinted moisturiser.
It's a tinted moisturiser with an SPF.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. And again, it's skincare first. Skincare first, then colour. Mm-hmm. That is it always needs to be good for your skin.
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's everything we make. We want it to be good for your skin. We've got our body cream coming.
Oh, Vixens have been bantering you.
I know.
It's like, I'm not just a face. What's happening to the rest of me?
We had to get the testing right.
Had to get it right.
It's been a couple of years in the making. It is finally coming, and it will be here probably by September at the very latest. And it's got some amazing little gadgets. You know how we love our gadgets.
Yeah.
So there's some surprises coming. It is an apple stem cell based body cream.
Wow.
So it is, again, in the apple stem cell range. Again, plant stem cells, again, always certified Australian made. I don't even need to tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's exciting and it's a bloody beautiful product. So I can't wait for everybody to use that. And we've also got the final addition to the apple stem cell range, which is the apple stem cell serum.
Oh.
And I have goosebumps. It's pretty bloody special.
I can imagine. I know you've been so excited about that.
So we've got lots. So that's just some of the
things that are coming.
Some of the things. There's a lot coming. And I know, and also our bronzers. We've got a highlighter / bronzer, and there'll be 3 colours in that. So again, that is
as a powder.
No, as a liquid bronzer that you can use, and it's an all-in-one. So you can use it cheeks, eyes. It's actually really cool. It's going to be an easy thing to pack when you need to just get some colour on your cheeks, and then it's got a matching lighter highlighter.
Yeah.
Again, that just pack those couple of things, away you go. You get a little sun-kissed, a little bit of colour. Yes, and we're working on Australian-made mascaras as well. So there isn't anything on market at the moment, and we're hopefully
that blew my mind when you said that. I was like, are you sure? Like I had to chat GPT that.
Yeah.
There's no Australian made and sourced mascara.
No, it's made in China.
That blows my mind.
Yep.
So then to wrap up then, also you've been really particular, not only when it comes to overseas, that's why it's only really that's why it's exclusive available. the products up until now have only been available on vixin.com because
Yep.
you've been so specific on who you would retail partner with.
Yeah.
You've got news about recent retail partners. You've allowed one pass through the gates.
Yes, so we are partnering with Priceline.
Yeah.
So the first rollout is gone into Let me start again. The first rollout has gone into Priceline at Broadbeach in Pacific Fair.
Like massive. Pacific Fair.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Now, the great thing about partnering with Priceline is each store is owned by another Aussie, independent,
Yeah.
local pharmacist, and they franchise from the mothership of Priceline. So again, this is Australian-owned businesses supporting Australian-made brands, and we're going to be one of the few brands in Priceline that are
you said
certified
that.
Australian-made. So we're so excited for this partnership and the rollout that is yet to come. So we've got a very busy time ahead with this rollout, and Miss M has.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be on. 'Cause I forgot how excited the community is. I mean, the Vixens are so excited about anything. They are obsessed with anything that you're doing, but they are like rocking up into their price lines going,
and asking for us, when are you rolling it out? Like, we've got people, if you have a look on our beautiful Vixen community, which I've just am so proud of, people are on there going, are you in Townsville?
Yeah.
Are you in Western Australia?
Yeah.
Are you in Bomaderry? Are you in Kiama? Are you in like?
I spoke to my price line and they didn't know who you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will be rolling out, but help us roll out quicker, guys. Go and ask for us in your local price line.
Yeah.
Tell them we're already in other price lines. Why aren't we in yours yet? We're Australian made. Support Australian made. So get out there, and you know what? Let's show them who our Vixen community is, guys. Let's beat the drums and show them. We are an independent company that we're going to roll out nationally with another big Australian company.
Yeah. Oh, mate,
And
you've
that-
got no one more motivated. They used to say that the woman who you helped lose weight was the most motivated, was going to be your biggest cheerleader. I reckon that's surpassed that, mate. I reckon anybody who makes their skin glow, you have 100% recruited soldiers, foot soldiers on ground, who are going to glow up into price lines all over Australia.
They are going to be in there demanding. I reckon they'll get in there and camp until they see us on shelf there.
Yeah.
Seriously, like the Vixen army is immobilising.
Yes.
Nationally.
Yeah, but I
Nationally.
do respect that. I've been in so many things and moving parts because I've seen so much of it behind the scenes and what people don't see. Although if you do tune into any of our social media, and you can pretty much imagine that Shah will be there at some particular point in her high vis vest, literally an hard hat. Like when you talk behind the scenes, I love it. Have a skincare brand, they said it'll be glamorous. And
Oh,
you're
it'll
like,
be glamorous, they
what?
said. You know. Let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, you'll find me in active wear with
Active
a baseball
wear and a high
cap
vis.
or a hard hat, depending, and a high vis. So yes, it's not the glamorous life it's cut out to be, and I very rarely get to wear a lovely red outfit. So I'm feeling quite done up
Quite
today.
vixen
I actually
today.
brushed my hair and blow dried it for this.
Trust me, I can test. I can confirm.
Emma,
I can confirm.
She
I turned
actually
up
rings
numerous
me and
times.
says, "Get out of your activewear now. You're coming."
Hang on just a second. And I literally turn up and she's still in a high vis. I'm like, mate. But you have been very, very specific as into who you've held off a lot on who you're going to partner with. You've held off a lot on people wanting to come in, wanting to buy chunks of the business. Like, people don't know that because it's not necessarily something that is social media worthy. Or what do? Put that in an email and tell people to go, I turned down a deal today.
Yeah.
People don't know that
No,
unless
they
I
don't
sit
know
there and I
anything.
extract it out of you.
Yeah, and Priceline, I couldn't be prouder to partner with, because they're actually the brand when I need to go to a chemist. I go to Priceline.
Yeah.
And why do I go to Priceline? Because service, their people are trained. You actually can find someone in the aisle to give you some assistance and if you've got questions that you need to be answered. And the pharmacists behind the counter give a shit.
Yeah.
So
Helps.
I just couldn't be prouder for Vixen to roll out with Priceline.
Yeah.
Couldn't be prouder.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great partnership. We
Yeah.
know it.
I love it. So if you're not following us already, obviously you're signing up to Real Talk. You're going to vixin.com.au, signing up to get our subscription. Not only is it just because you're going to be, what I actually like is it's not just the noise with the Real Talk. I really, really like the fact that, I mean, there's stuff that I'm still learning. I mean, you can't believe that you're a full-grown woman and you're learning all of these things about how to look after your skin. But there is so much information about the how-tos when it comes to when it comes to being a part of the community. You're constantly pumping out stuff about how-tos.
Yeah.
How to use it, what you need to know, when breaking news happens like the Kmart thing, like all of the things, trying to just getting your perspective.
Yeah.
It's like it's sort of a broad spectrum of information.
Yeah.
So to make sure that you've signed up for that.
Yeah,
regardless.
absolutely. And in fact, I will just quickly do this because everybody's saying to me, what order? So let's just quickly do this once and once only.
Yeah.
Cleanser. Always start with clean skin.
Yeah.
And double cleanse if you can, if you've got time. If not, at least double cleanse at night. Number one.
Night.
Okay, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you're going to choose a serum and either one. Now, as I said, I use that one in the morning and I use that one at night. That one is deep hydration, so you want that glow all day. This one is restorative, and you want that while you're sleeping because your skin repairs at its best when you're asleep. So that's how I actually use those two myself, so people ask me. Mm-hmm. So they're next. Next, we want to be using this, our Rapid Eye Repair. Now, I keep that in the fridge.
Yes.
And it is, like, that is why I don't have black circles. Not just because I keep it in the fridge, but because this actually reduces black circles. In clinical trials, both of these products gave a 15% or better, 100% of respondents in reduction of fine lines and wrinkles. Both of these products, okay? And especially around here. So this area here, which is so delicate and it's the area that most people worry about showing lines, this helps reduce that, okay? So that is next. Mm-hmm. Then if you're going to add some colour in, you would do that back there with that one. Mm-hmm. So you want to add some colour in.
Beach face with your goji.
With your beach face. And then, of course, we finish it off and we round it out with this, and making sure that whatever skincare you put on your face, put it down your neck and to your décolletage. You want all your skin to look in the same condition all the way down, all right? You don't want this to look different to your face, okay? So making sure you take it all the way down. If you were going to use the pink jelly mask, and that's, I use it twice a week. And if I've got for example, I put this on early this morning because I was coming here, okay? So I've actually used this 3 times this week. But if you're going to use that, that is directly after you cleanse, all right? That has to be next.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of masks you can use that frequently.
No.
Yeah.
But this one you can.
Yeah.
And don't wash this off with this. Just take it off with cool water.
With your VIXIN washer. That's
it. That's it. Don't actually wash it back off. We don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
We want all those beautiful active ingredients to be locked into your skin. So that one is straight after cleansing.
And then talk to us about, because you were adamant about the silicone masks.
Yep.
Sort of like at the end of a little sort of like, I use them, I'm doing like once a week.
Yep.
I'll use them because that makes the skin get the VIXIN work harder. Once you've done that full regime.
Yep.
Then you'll use the mask just to kind of seal it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they're our reusable.
Yep.
And what they can do, they are fully reversible too. So if you are looking to reduce and smooth at the side here, use the thicker bit over there. If you want to reduce dark circles, use it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Also can be used on your marionettes. But this makes your serum or your all-in-one or your Rapid Eye Repair work twice as hard, okay?
Twice as hard.
So whether you're using it with that, with your Rapid Eye, or your all-in-one, whichever one, put that on, then place those on. These are reusable.
Yeah.
So as well as you can look after them, is as long as they're going to last, okay?
Because they're medical grade silicone, yeah?
Yep. And they can also work down on your neck folds as well. So they're quite universal. Plus it's got a little travel pack, so you can take it. I took those on the plane as well. I had them on while I was sitting in there.
Amazing skin on the plane.
Travelling, yep. And then that's the forehead version of it. So we want to reduce the impact of single-use masks on the environment. Yep. So plus they don't work. I don't care what you tell me. There's no ingredients in them. Yep. They're cheap, they're nasty, they're made in China. So that also doubles on your chest, on your neck, forehead.
And then to wash them using the only way to make sure that they don't degrade and that they don't is to clean them with your clean team.
Yeah, clean them with your clean team. Let them dry out, pop them back in their tins, take them travelling with you. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And lessen the impact on the environment.
Yeah, I love it. Well, ladies and gents and vixens, that is, because you see how much you can just jam pack in. This woman is a walking encyclopedia of skincare knowledge, but is the most passionate founder of the indie skincare brand VIXIN, which I'm so proud that we get a chance to just shoot it and just talk about it. And this is basically what it looks like in the warehouse every single day, let alone when she gets riled up about something that happens in the skincare industry. So thank you for joining us. I'm so glad, Shah, that everybody gets a chance to, your vixens get a chance to sit with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to do this more regularly and bring more information to you guys because I know you're all hungry for it.
Yeah.
So we will try and take all the technology out and just give you the no fluff, no BS version so that you can understand what you're doing and what you're buying. We'll be as transparent with you as we always have been, always ethical. Always wanting to fix your skin and always wanting you to be the best version of yourself. So
Yeah, because skincare just got real.
it certainly did.